Welcome, ladies and gents, to another Voice of Nick show. We're starting Elder Scrolls Arena today, and we have the player's guide in front of us. We're going to go through the instruction manual. The Elder Scrolls Arena, I believe I downloaded this when Bethesda actually had it available for free on their website, kind of like Rockstar Games had Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 for free. So you could download it there. I don't know if it's still there, but somewhere on the internet, I believe there is still a legal way to download this game, that's just like officially offered for free. As they say, it is illegal to make unauthorized copies of this game. This is the instruction manual from, you can see copyright 1993. Is there saying, the Voice of Nick, aka the History of Games channel. I like to think of our streams as kind of like, one time I had to describe what our channel was like, and I came up with a pretty fun explanation where it's like, sometimes a stream is very focused on being competitive, and it's kind of like watching ESPN or something where you're watching somebody compete. Sometimes a stream is focused on like, playing a lot of different games at the same time and, doing like game show type stuff and interactivity, and that's a little bit more like watching like a variety show or like a daytime television talk show. And I said, like, if that's what some other streams are, then mine is more like watching Turner Classic Movies, where it's like you have a host who tries to contextualize the movie for you and give you an idea of when it came out and behind the scenes stuff about it, and then we all enjoy the story together, and then we talk again afterwards. Like it's a little bit more history focused. The Turner Classic Movies of video games. Ooh, we got artwork in here. Chuckster saying, it's cream cheese, lime juice, sweetened condensed milk, and whipped cream all mixed together. Then you freeze it to make, instead of having to bake it, like a no-bake cheesecake. I've never heard of no-bake cheesecake either, but that's cool. It sounds great. Well, I hope you enjoy it. I'm jealous now. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, this is storyline stuff. The Elder Scrolls, the Arena. Talon awoke in the darkened cell, his head pounding from the blow it had received. A single candle guttered and flamed in one corner. Occasionally, the clink of chains would be heard as they swung in a slight fetid breeze. He knew where he was now. It came back to him even as he struggled to his feet, fighting off the nausea he had made his way to a crude stone bench. I have been taken by the Emperor, but for what? His thoughts were interrupted by a low moan that came drifting down the corridor outside his cell. Suddenly, he was glad for the obvious strength of his cell door. I have been left to die, he thought incredulously. They did not even bother to strip me of my possessions. Indeed, upon self-examination, Talon found that he still carried his dagger and his pouch of money. It seemed that the Emperor had no fears of his escape. And why should he? He did a quick circumspection of the room, finding that, except for the slime-covered walls and floor, no water or food had been left. A slow death indeed. Suddenly, the air near the center of the cell seemed to brighten, slowly coalescing in a globe of brilliance. Talon fell back, shielding his eyes from the glare. The light receded, and in the purple after-images of that burst he could see the shimmering form of a woman floating, her body draped in gossamer and blown by an unseen wind. "Do not fear, Talon, for it is I, Rhea Sylmaine." Talon looked on in shock as the figure of his friend took on form and substance, though somehow it did not seem to lose its edge of etherealness. "Rhea, what in the name of the lady has happened?" Rhea's face seemed etched in grief, drawn by a sadness he could not comprehend. "Talon, do you remember the last time we saw each other? It was at mid-year's festival. I fear that is where the evil took form." "What happened to you?" Talon asked in shocked whisper. He had known Rhea since he had been summoned to court to learn under her tutelage the ways of sorcery. Rhea had been the senior apprentice to Jagar Tharn, the imperial battle mage of Tamriel. "I am dead, Talon. Only my powers keep me in this form. Though the pull to the afterlife is strong, I can resist, but only for a time. It is imperative that someone know the truth, that someone stop the evil which has struck the heart of the imperial seat." Talon sat down once more, his legs seeming no longer to obey. "Left to die in a cell, my friend already dead. What has happened to us all?" "The Emperor is not who he seems to be, Talon. He is in fact Jaga Thon. The true Emperor was captured by Thon and shifted to another dimension, a prison in which time runs much slower than on this plane of existence. Talon looked up, his face a mask of shock and outrage. But what of the Amulet of Kings? The Emperor is not dead. Only in the event of his demise would the amulet warn the Elder Council. Thon was meticulous in his planning. With time in the dimension in which the Emperor has been imprisoned running at a fraction of what it does here, it will be centuries before the true Emperor dies. And when he does, who will care? Those people will have seen the glorious rule of Uriel Septim VII end generations in their past. Thon must be stopped here and now. Rhea's face had a resolute set, one that if Talon had noticed would have sent shivers of foreboding through his body. Talon looked around. Why are you here? I am but one, and not skilled in much of anything. Why not go to General Warhaft or the Imperial Guard? Rhea shook her head. They have been captured along with the Emperor, and Thon has transmorphed others to take their places. Those are loyal to him only. I cannot trust anyone else with this, Talon. As you said, Thon will not search for you as he would someone he considered a threat. Most of them are dead already. You can see the disdain the wizard has for you, not bothering to even bind you in this cell. He does not see you as a threat, and in that arrogance he has made his first mistake. For the first time the ghost of Rhea Silmaine smiled, and to Talon it was as if the sun had come out from behind a cloud. I wish to escape, that is sure, but beyond that I know not what I can do, Rhea. Take this. At Rhea's gesture a ruby key flashed into being in a niche in the northern wall of the cell. It will unlock the door. You're in the sewers of the Imperial City. If you make your way west, then south, I can effect your escape. Talon thought a moment. It will not do to have me surface in the city itself, for I would be quickly captured. I think it an uncommon occurrence to see a man pull himself through a grating on a city street. The guards at the least will have questions, ones I will be unable to satisfactorily answer. Rhea smiled again. I am not as helpless as you may suppose. Even in this form I am able to work my magic, but to do so depletes the energy I use to remain on this plane. Your escape, however, is paramount to all other considerations. Get to the southwest corner of this sewer. There you will see a shift gate. It will transport you to another city, where you will appear inside their city gates. Teleportation between cities is common enough. I doubt you will come under scrutiny. With that you will be far enough from the center of the Empire to begin. Talon felt a faint fear gnaw in the pit of his stomach, and he whispered, Begin what? Your training, of course. There was an uncomfortable silence as Talon looked at his friend. He did not entirely trust his ability to help her, to really make a difference. The alternative, however, was to allow the man who had killed his friend to continue the charade. Talon was not one to let a light go unanswered. Or a lie, which is what it actually said, a lie. Rhea concerned him, however. Even now he could see the fringes of her form dissipating, and her face took on a worn and lined expression as if she were tiring. He did not relish the idea of being alone in this, not knowing who he could trust. Will I see you again? If you survive these sewers and escape, I will come to you again. There is much I must investigate first, so that we may find a way to free the Emperor from the dimension in which Thon has placed him. Only by his release will the truth come to light. Remember, Talon, Thon has taken on the form of the Emperor, and no one will gainsay his word for yours. Had I been able to, I would have appeared to the Elder Council, but my body lies close by, forgotten and decayed. In this form I cannot travel far from my mortal remains. Rhea looked down, her once wheaten tresses hanging limply as the ethereal wind diminished. I cannot come to you again as I have now. It takes energy I dare not squander. She reached out and touched Talon on the forehead. He felt a slight tingling, like an itch behind his eyes. A moment later it was gone. I have linked us so that I can appear to you regardless of the distance, but I will only appear to you henceforth in your dreams. The way is safer and less costly. It is very important that you rest now and again, when you are safe. It will be only during those times that I can reach you. Rhea looked into Talon's eyes. You're entering a dangerous arena, my friend, one in which the players are beings beyond your mortal comprehension. I see in your destiny the ability to transcend. There's a power within you, as yet untapped. Look for me when you have gained some experience in the world. You're my last and best hope, Talon. Before Talon could respond, the form of Rhea faded from view. In the deepening gloom, Talon could feel the icy fingers of fear creeping slowly back into his flesh. Then the glint of ruby caught his eye. He walked over to the niche and picked up the key. It felt warm to the touch, and strangely comforting. He thought about his friend Rhea, dead now though she was, clinging to the life... He thought about his friend Rhea, dead now though she clung to unlife for the sake of justice. He thought about Jagathon, who had killed his friend and attempted his own life. Such evil could not be permitted to grow or go unchecked. Looking about his cell, his purpose became clearer, as if his ruminations had opened a door to the beginnings of understanding. Perhaps Rhea had ensorcelled the key to produce this reaction. He knew not, but a litany from his old arms-master came to mind, and he whispered, "Given the outcome of certain death, die with a blade in hand." The cell door was a massive construction of iron and steel. He paused only a moment to listen. The moaning was gone, but from the darkness he could hear dozens of tiny claws skittering and scratching the damp, mossy brownstone. Occasionally red eyes gleamed out at him. Talon inserted the key to the lock and turned it. With a groan, the mechanism released and the cell door swung open on rusty hinges. Despite the noise, nothing flew out from the darkness to attack. It was as if the sewer itself had decided he was no threat and turned its back on him. "Thorn," he thought, "you will not escape me so easily." Grabbing the candle from its holder, Talon drew breath and dagger as he ventured into the darkened hall. The quest: to rescue the Emperor from the dimension in which Jagathon has imprisoned him by recovering the 8 pieces of the Staff of Chaos. Designer's note. Remember the old pencil and paper RPGs? The limits of your adventure were only defined by your own imagination. The dungeon master didn't force anyone down a particular path, if he knew what he was doing, but instead allowed the players to explore the world he had created. If you want to stay in the town and become a local hero, fine. If instead you wish to step into the shoes of a starship captain and save the universe, that was also fine. A good DM had lots of imagination in all the answers. The players provided the adventure. The Elder Scrolls, in this game, we have strived to put the fun back into role-playing. We have given the world many areas of exploration. Over 400 places where death can be dealt in new and exciting ways. It is a place where those of you who love combat and spellcasting can earn fame and fortune by proving your prowess in battle. Among the hundreds of quests present in the world, the opportunity to save the Empire is there, for those who are brave or foolhardy enough to seek it out. We plan to dedicate further expansion and adventure modules to giving people new areas to explore or other mysteries to solve. In the Elder Scrolls, there is no absolute right or wrong. We have always held that the idea of good versus evil is a bit cliché, however effective it may be for running a story. Things in the real world are rarely black and white. We did include an overall quest for those of you who wish to participate in the never-ending battle of light versus darkness. Failing this, however, only means that particular character or adventurer has met an unfortunate end, not that the game is over for the dozens of other characters you might otherwise have chosen to play. If you wish to become a thief who robs innocent nobles, fine. If you wish to play a warrior who makes his mission to kill these thieves, that's fine too. All we did is give the computer the parameters of the land, from NPCs and their motivations, to monsters and their treasures, to nobles and their quests. The rest is up to you. The quest outlined in the introduction is to rescue the Emperor from the dimension in which Jagathon has imprisoned him, by recovering the 8 pieces of the Staff of Chaos. Learn the world and its ways well, however, before your journey down this road. The arena can be deadly to the uninitiated. Explore as often as possible, perhaps using the many crypts and forgotten lairs around the land to hone your skills. This will give you the experience necessary to win against stronger and tougher adversaries later in the game. I suggest you pay attention to any dreams or messages you may receive. The information contained in them can be very valuable, even necessary to complete the final quest successfully. There are many tests of character in the quest to recover the Staff of Chaos. The 8 pieces of the staff are the only way to open the gate to the world in which the Emperor has been banished. Bide your time and gain experience. Neither the Emperor nor the pieces of the staff are going anywhere. Creating a CRPG for the first time was sometimes frustrating, always exciting, and wholly enjoyable process. Many nights were spent discussing different aspects of the game, trying to make sure that you, the consumer, would get to journey within the most realistic fantasy environment possible without being forced into yet another boring world. Any of us could do that by just looking out the window. Our commitment and goal was to create the strongest fantasy role-playing game possible. It was very important to us that the people who bought TES Arena got as much enjoyment out of playing it as we did creating it. As with any creative endeavor, however, we know that we shall not have all the answers. Your feedback on TES Arena is very important to us. We invite your letters, suggestions, and comments, so that together we make future chapters of the Elder Scrolls as good as they can be. With that said, may your sword be sharp and your spells close at hand, for your adventure begins here. V.J. Luxman, Chief designer. Oh, not a Todd Howard joint, I guess. Azur Tundra saying, and that's why this is my favorite channel. Thank you, Azur. Chucks is saying, desserts and game history are two favorite things. Coffee counts as dessert. As in, with a big Italian family, we would always have coffee with our dessert after dinner. I don't know if everybody does that. I assume it's more of like a morning thing, but we definitely have done that. Cheers to everybody. I'm glad you like my Turner Classic Movies thing. I thought that was a pretty fun way to describe the channel. So this is an instruction manual that also has like installation tips. And some of this stuff is, if you have a 3.5-inch floppy drive called the B drive, do the following. It's telling you how to like actually, put it into your DOS thing and what to type into DOS. You'll need to configure the sound effects drivers. Base I/O address, 220 hex. Chucks are saying coffee-flavored desserts are the best, and coffee with dessert is great too. I like coffee-flavored ice cream. I've never had any coffee-flavored, like, coffee cake is really good. I like coffee cake a lot. Now my stomach's rumbling. Gotta eat something. Start new game, load saved game, character generation. We're not going to read all the stuff about, like, things that we don't think are necessary for, like, getting the story, I guess. But I think with these instruction manuals, a lot of times this stuff is necessary to read because it won't explain it in the game. So let's see. We'll read about character generation. You'll be given two choices, generate or select. Option 1 will allow you to generate a character based on a set of 10 questions that will determine which character class best suits your personality. Cool. Follow the on-screen prompts to create your character. You do not have to select this class as the one you wish to play. The class chosen for you only reflects what you would probably survive longest as based upon the way you answered the questions. Use it only as a guideline. When you're finished, follow the on-screen prompts to rolling up your stats. That's interesting. Or select option 2, which will just bring you to pick up a list of 18 character classes for you to choose, the one you wish to play. When you're finished, follow the on-screen prompts to roll up your stats. Character stats. Once you've selected your homeland and your name and answered the questions that will aid you in choosing your class, or selected your class using the select option, you'll be able to enter the stat generation. All stats range from 1 to 100, with 50 being average. You'll notice that you have a range of stats based on the race you've chosen, and a box that shows your bonus points. These points can be distributed amongst your stats to personalize your character. Remember to follow the advice given to you about what stats are important for success as the class you have chosen. All classes have 2 governing stats and 6 secondary stats. Advice given to you about... That's probably later in the manual then, because we haven't seen the advice about that. Remember, a stat of 50 is average. It means that 50% of the people using in this world are better than you at this particular area, and 50% are not. That's really interesting. That's not like a usual RPG. Using strength as an example, a strength of 72 would mean that my character was stronger than 71% of the people in the Empire. People with 72 strength would be my equal, and those with a higher rating would be stronger. Very cool. As they're saying, coffee after dinner is a very European thing, and a selection of cheese is a thing too. I think that definitely sounds like a European... I don't think that's translated into my family's customs. For us, it would just be a lot of dessert food and coffee. That definitely sounds like a genuine European thing. My family is more of... they call it... You refer to it as the difference between Italian and Italian. We're Italians, like from New Jersey, as opposed to being from Italy. Chuck's is saying a nice espresso with a dessert is good. There you go. As they're saying passeggiata. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds good. Broken Soul likes French vanilla. Ooh, there you go. Choosing a face? Oh, a face. After you finish distributing your stats, you'll be able to choose what your character looks like. Click his head with your left mouse button and you'll cycle through the different faces available. Here we go. Character stats. There are 8 governing stats that make up your character in the world of Arena. Here's a list of them and their explanations. This strength governs how strong you are. It affects how much damage you do in combat and is a factor in determining your fatigue points. Strength also affects how much you can carry and not be encumbered, and how far you can jump. It is essential that any warrior class have a high strength. Yeah, this sounds like basically every stat we care about all in one. Intelligence governs how smart you are. It affects the total amount of spell points you get to cast spells with. Intelligence affects your chances in negotiating for items and other purchases. It also affects your chances of figuring out a lock in case you wish to pick it. It is essential that any mage or thief has high intelligence. Willpower governs how mentally tough you are. It affects your ability to withstand or resist spells, your ability to negotiate successfully with shop owners and innkeepers. It's vital that any character wishing to be adequately defended against spells should have a high willpower. Okay, that's interesting. So I don't really care about using spells, but maybe I want to withstand them. Agility governs how nimble you are. It directly affects your chances of hitting an enemy with a melee weapon, your chance of getting hit in hand-to-hand melee, and your chance of getting hit by targeted spells. Okay, that's interesting. So we definitely don't want to get hit. So agility is going to be important. It also affects your chance to steal an item or pick a lock. It is essential for thief to have high ability. Speed governs how fast. It directly affects your movement rate in and out of combat, and the fire rate if you're using a missile weapon. It's important that any class characters have a high speed. I feel like that's supposed to say any something class, but it doesn't say the class. I assume a thief. Endurance, how healthy you are. It directly affects your hit points, your healing rate, and is a factor in determining your fatigue points. It also affects your resistance to poison and other drugs that may come into contact with you while adventuring. It's essential that warrior class characters have a high endurance. Personality. This governs how charming and socially acceptable you are. It directly affects your ability to negotiate with people you may meet in your travels. It's essential for any person wishing to interact with others to have a high personality. Luck. This governs how fate affects you. It is a powerful modifier to any action you may take, whether it be attacking, defending, stealing, or anything else. It's important but not essential for any character class to have a high luck. Remember, just as in other stats, your character can be as lucky or unlucky depending on your luck score. The average is 50. It sounds like we want a lot of these. If I had to choose which ones are most important, endurance, probably number one, because I gotta assume I'm gonna die in this game. Last time we played this, I literally had to give up on it. So endurance number one, strength number two, agility number three, I'm gonna say, to allow us to not get hit, and then maybe personality number four. Those would be like the ones we would kind of try and go towards. As they're saying, passeggiata is taking a stroll after dinner to help with digestion. Oh, we never did that. Probably should have. That's a good idea. I like that. As you're saying, I was really into Italian, French, and English culture a while back. Chuck's is saying you're a wealth of knowledge. Yes, you are. See, this is the stream where you learn about video game history and also cultural history. All sorts of stuff. And a lot of stuff about eating. Various things about eating. That's our favorite subject here. Character sheet, page 1. Your name is here. Your chosen race, chosen class. Done. Experience. Current level. Current hit points. Fatigue. Fatigue 2 to 200 fatigue points rating here. 2 to 200. Okay. Current gold. Explanations of the modifiers. As with all other modifiers in the game, positive modifier is a bonus to your abilities, a negative modifier is a penalty to your abilities. The modifiers listed above next to each stat do the following. Okay. By the way, that intro storyline thing was really well done. I liked that a lot. I'm like super into the story in this game. Damage. This number modifies that amount of damage that you inflict in hand-to-hand combat. People with strength ratings 55 and above will have a positive modifier. 45 and below will have a negative modifier. Max kilos is a max amount you can carry in kilos. As you reach this max, you'll find yourself getting more encumbered. As characters carry more and more, they can suffer gradual penalties to their fatigue until they cannot move or swing. Gotta make sure we don't screw that up then. The number here of intelligence spell points. Oh, I see it. Strength is the macro category, and there's multiple modifiers within that category. I get it. Intelligence, spell points. The number here represents the magical power a spellcaster has. Non-spellcasters will have a 0 in this slot. Spellcasters have 2 to 200. Sorcerers can have 3 to 300. As a spellcaster's intelligence rating increases, so will his or her spell points available for casting. Will, magic defense. This number represents the penalty or bonus an opposing spellcaster gets when attacking you. The higher your will, the better chance you have of resisting spells. Agility. This number represents the bonus or penalty you receive when attacking, to hit, when attacking in hand-to-hand melee. The higher your agility rating, the better your chance of hitting. To defend. This number represents the addition or reduction to your armor rating because of your natural agility or clumsiness. The higher your agility rating, the more is subtracted from your armor rating. Remember, the lower your armor rating, the more protected you are. If you say so. I guess it'll make more sense when we play it. Speed general. Although speed is explained under the stats section, it's important to mention here that a character with a higher speed rating turns quicker and runs faster. These advantages or penalties can make the difference for you between life and death. Endurance. Health. This number represents how many health points are added or subtracted from your health rating during character generation and each time you level. Characters with a high endurance rating will receive more health points on average every time they gain a level. Heal modifier. This percentage represents the modification to the base healing rate every character has. You heal a certain percentage of your total health points for each hour of rest. This number is added or subtracted from that percentage. Therefore, characters with a higher endurance will heal faster for each hour. Okay, personality charisma. This number represents the modification to the base chance of successfully negotiating with the different people you may meet while adventuring in the land. Characters with a high personality rating will find it much easier to get cheaper prices, better sales, and more info from the people they meet. Luck, general. It's important to mention here that luck can have a profound effect upon your life. Characters with a high luck rating find that they have a better chance at everything they attempt to do. Conversely, those with a low luck rating finds that things don't always work out their way. Interesting. A lot of that I feel is self-explanatory though. Welcome Admiral Booty Call into the show. Good to see you. Let's get an exclamation mark high for Admiral Booty Call. We're doing Elder Scrolls Arena, the first Elder Scrolls game. Is there saying lifelong learner? I like that. Character sheet page 2. Okay, this is our inventory screen. Your list of equipment goes here. Right-clicking will give you info on that particular piece. Left-clicking equips if possible. Equip displayed in yellow, equipable in tan, unequipable in red, unidentified magic items in cyan. I don't even know if I know what... Unidentified magic items that are equipped will be displayed in bright cyan. I assume I'll know cyan if I see it. Oh, there's no other blue, so it'll just be the only blue one. The arrows will scroll through your equipment. You may carry up to 40 items. You can drop, spellbook, list spells. Okay. It's interesting that you can get info on the weapons and armor, which is, certainly couldn't do that in Ultima. But we have to realize this is like the far-flung future from Ultima. This game is as far from Ultima 1 as we are now from The Last of Us 1. So it's, 6 or 7 years from there. Although Last of Us 1 is still a great looking game. Armor ratings. On this character sheet, you'll see numbers printed next to your body. Let's put it this way. This game is as far from Ultima 1 almost as Metal Gear Solid 1 is from Metal Gear 2. So like going from the MSX Metal Gear 2 in 1990 to Metal Gear Solid 1 in 1998, it's almost that big of a jump. Technologically and just in terms of the world of video games. Armor ratings. On this character sheet, you'll see numbers printed next to your body. These numbers represent your level of protection on various parts of your body. Armor ratings range from plus 10, unprotected, down to 0, to negative numbers which represent better and better protection. Basically, the lower your armor rating is, the better protected you are. Therefore, a character with plus 10 is less protected than plus 3, and a character with minus 4 is better protected than either of the above. The numbers on your figure are positioned to represent various parts of your body. They're arranged as follows from top downward. We put the armor piece that protects the area in parentheses. Head is helm, right shoulder is right shoulder, chest is a cuirass, head is gauntlets, hands is gauntlets rather, waist and legs greaves, lower legs feet boots, left shoulder pauldrons. I assume right shoulder is also that. That's pretty interesting. I wonder how the body parts come into play. For a complete explanation of armor pieces, AR ratings, and the effects of equipment, see the equipment store. Oh, this is going to be useful, the races. Here's a brief description of each of the races, their strengths, and their suitability to a particular art. Nords. Nords hail from the province of Skyrim. They're a tall and fair-skinned people who are strong, willful, and hardy. It's rumored that growing in their Arctic environment has inured them to its effects, but they seem to shrug off all but the coldest of attacks. Nords take half damage from cold-based attacks, and on a successful saving throw take no damage. They're excellent in all arts concerning the blade and shield. Khajiit. Khajiit hail from the province of Elsewhere. They're a fair-skinned people who are extremely hardy, intelligent, and agile. Legend has it that they descended from an intelligent feline race, but they still retain a strange cast to their features. Many Khajiit have taken to painting their faces to more resemble their distant cousins, the predatory cats that hunt the Great Desert. Khajiit are excellent climbers, able to scale chasm walls, sides, with speed unmatched by any other race. They are adept at all arts involving thieving and sleight of hand. Redguards. Redguards hail from the province of Hammerfell. They're a stocky, powerful race that are known to be extremely hardy and quick. Legend has it that Redguards are innately more proficient at weapons than any other race. Redguards receive their level divided by 3 as a bonus to hit and damage with any melee weapon excluding bows. They're excellent in all arts concerning the blade and shield. Damn, I think I'm going to choose a Redguard. Bretons. Bretons hail from the province of High Rock. They're tall, dark-haired people. Bretons are highly intelligent and willful people and have an outgoing personality. It's said that Bretons are weaned on magic, for it seems to suffuse their very being. As a result, Bretons take half damage from any magic-based attacks and no damage on a successful save. They are excellent in all arcane arts. Argonians. Argonians hail from the province of Black Marsh. They are a highly evolved race of reptilians, at home in any marsh-like environment from which they hail. They are known for their intelligence, agility, and speed. Because of their reptilian nature, Argonians do not tire easily while swimming and seldom drown. They can also swim faster than any other race. They're adept at any art involving the arcane or involving thievery and sleight of hand. Wood Elves. Wood Elves hail from the province of Valenwood. They are people of the forest, matching their features to all that is found growing in the woods of their homeland. They are known to be extremely agile and quick. Wood Elves receive their level divided by 3 as a bonus to hit and damage with any bow weapon. They are well suited towards any class, though their nimbleness serves them best in the art involving thievery. High Elves. High Elves hail from the island province of Somerset. They're a tall, golden-skinned people with almond-shaped eyes. High Elves are extremely intelligent, agile, and willful. High Elves seem drawn to magic as a moth is to a flame. They have a natural affinity to its use and often make quite formidable wizards. High Elves are naturally immune to paralyzation. They're adept in any art involving the arcane. Dark Elves. Dark Elves hail from the province of Morrowind. They're a tall, dark-skinned people with red, glowing eyes. They're known to be extremely strong and intelligent and very quick. Dark Elves seem innately attuned to weaving magic with weapons. Dark Elves receive their level divided by 4 as a bonus to hit and damage with any melee or ranged weapon. Wow. They're adept in any art involving the blade and shield combined with the arcane arts. So basically, I would want to choose a Dark Elf or a Redguard if we're trying to like min-max our character, which we're not necessarily trying to do. But I'm going to need all the help I can get in this game if my memory serves. This might be one of those things, you know, like when you play a game that you played as a kid, and as a kid you remember it being so hard, and then you come back to it now and you're like, why did I ever think this was hard? So this might be a thing where it's like not actually as difficult for us now, but the way I'm remembering it, it's like almost like a traumatic memory of like it being so difficult. Oh, look at this. Okay, we have, subclasses of the classes. Cool. I'm not going to read all about it because I feel like we are not really going to need to know this. And this is all like very I feel like I would almost want to discover this as we go, because we're not trying to like, perfectly play the game. We're trying to play it, in like a natural way. Thief classes, we have thieves, burglars, assassins, rogues, acrobats, and bards. For warriors, we have warriors, knights, rangers, archers, monks, and barbarians. Mage classes, we have mages, sorcerers, healers, battle mages, spell swords, and night blades. Cool. Oh, I love it. There's so much involved in this game. Character starting equipment. Oh my god, look at this. Okay, warriors get a broad... Yeah, see, I don't want to know any of this stuff. Experience tables. As you adventure in the land, you'll gain experience. At certain times, when enough experience is gained, you'll also gain a level. Gaining a level results in a stat increase, health increase, and improved abilities. Just for a guide, we have included the experience necessary for each level. Okay, I don't want to know that either. Character condition. At various times, you'll experience things that do not necessarily leave you in the fittest of health. Some of these conditions are disease, poison, spell effects, or just plain intoxication. The designated color behind your head will give you an idea of your current condition. Aqua. Why do they choose these weird descriptions? Oh, there's aqua and there's blue. Why couldn't you make it white or like just a totally different color? Okay, background is aqua, means this is the default condition mode. Red, character is down to 10% max health. Blue, currently under some kind of spell. Green, affected by some sort of poison. Yellow, affected by disease. To get the exact condition, click the snake staff icon, see keys and commands, for a summary of your condition. Temples can usually assist you with correcting any problems faced as far as the condition go, but for a price. Okay. On-screen buttons. Okay. We might actually have to even write this down or like put in a text document or something so I can keep it on hand. Because usually with this era of video games, you want to keep the key commands like on a sheet somewhere so you can just reference them. Because there will be like a million of them. And they're all specific. It's not context sensitive like games are now. Yeah, okay. On-screen buttons. There are many options you can invoke while exploring the world of Tamriel. To the right of your face are 2 rows of buttons. They represent various actions available. The button and the action it represents are explained in the following list. Mouse general controls. Left-clicking while the cursor is an arrow will make you move in the direction of the arrow. The further the arrow is from the center, the faster you move. Left-clicking while the cursor is an X interacts with it. The interaction depends on whether you're in talk, cast, or attack mode. Right-clicking while the left mouse button is depressed will cause you to jump. Oh, right-clicking while the left mouse button is down, okay. Right-clicking an object while the cursor is an X identifies it if it is not generic. Mouse in character equipment sheet. Left-clicking equips, right-clicking gives you info. You can left-click the spellbook button. This will give you a list of spells in your spellbook and the current casting cost. Left or right-clicking one of the spells will bring up a sheet and allow you to see the specifics associated. You can only cast spells from the walk-around menu, not from the character sheet. Unequipable in red, equipable in tan, equipped items in yellow, unidentified in cyan, unidentified equipped in bright cyan. Cross swords, attack. Seems pretty self-explanatory. Clicking this will draw your weapon and put you in attack mode. From here, holding down the left mouse button moves you in the same direction as the arrow. Holding down the right mouse button and moving the mouse swings your weapon. You may still jump using the J key. Oh, I don't think I can rebind in this game. At least we can't assume that we can. Shift and J will do a standing long jump. Clicking this icon again will sheath your weapon. Sunburst is cast. Cast a spell. Left-clicking the icon will cause your spellbook to appear. You may pick up the spell you wish to cast and the target of the spell. To save time in recasting, you can right-click the icon again. If you have the spell points, you can cast the last spell chosen again. Fingers picking gold coin icon. Steal. Steal something. When this icon is clicked, a prompt will come up asking target. Pick the target on screen. If it's a person, there will be an attempt to pickpocket. If it's a barrier, such as the chest or door, an attempt will be made to unlock it. Be careful, however, in a city, you may attract guards. Hand-grabbing icon is use. Use something. When this icon is clicked, an inventory of usable magic items will come up. Pick the item you wish to use and then follow any on-screen prompts, such as target for a ring spell. Note, only from the 3D walk-around menu can you use an item. If you want to use a healing potion, you must use it from here, as you will be unable to use it from the character sheet. Snake staff icon is player status. Clicking on this icon will pause the game and show your current status. Other items such as the date, time of day, any reputational issues that may affect your status and current location. Other information on this pop-up will be at your current condition, health, spells that are currently affecting you, and spells currently active. Okay, so this is the interface here. Yeah. So you can see it here. The games at this time, it seems like a no-brainer now. Obviously, hindsight is 2020. You know, XYZ. We all think we're so smart now, but in 20 years, someone's going to figure out something even better than what we have, and we'll all look stupid. In 1994, they looked stupid because they couldn't figure out necessarily that you could achieve all these things with one button. So, like, basically, like, steal is a different button from use, which is a different button from, you know, interact, which is a different button from pull up the character sheet or whatever. They're all separate commands. You know, in future video games in the modern era, obviously a lot of these things are all the same button or like 2 or 3 buttons put together. But yeah, this is going to be our bread and butter, like using this menu and making sure we know this menu. It's pretty interesting to think about that, though, that like at the time just nobody could come up with that. Like they felt the need that they had to, you know, spell it out on screen like that. And a lot of times in games, like especially in adventure games, if you clicked something or you said like interact with this thing, it would be like you can't interact with it. But what you're supposed to do is like, you know, steal on this thing. But like interact doesn't work, but steal does. But in a modern game, you would just press the A button to do either thing, and whichever one works, you know, it would be context based. Like context was not necessarily a concept they had at this time in games. Although this impressively does have the, like if you click something and it's an X, it'll do whatever the thing is. So there is some level of context in here. Anyway, parchment with lines icon is the logbook. This icon represents the logbook, a journal of your travels. In your logbook, there will be information on any quests you've agreed to accomplish and province locations of places that people have inscribed onto your continental map. Wow. This is an easy way for you to keep track of the things you have promised to do. Be careful, only 16 quests will be recorded at a time. The logbook updates the list by clearing out the oldest entry, so at any time only 16 entries show. If it is really important, print out the logbook. Okay. Yeah, it is like that thing about like in 20 years we're going to look stupid. I wonder what about video games is going to change that much. Like the biggest recent development in games, I guess, is like the biggest thing that shook up video games recently was in 2006 when Gears of War was a cover-based shooter. That was not a concept until Gears of War. And also the idea of shifting the characters so they're in like one side of the screen instead of being in the center of the screen was a big thing. I don't know what's going to be the next big like shake-up. Obviously, there's a lot of video game genres that have been invented, but I'm just talking about like paradigms. I'm not sure. I'm sure there are other ones since then too. Campfire icon is camp. Left-clicking this will cause you to rest. During a rest, you'll slowly regain lost hit points, spell points, and fatigue. You may camp anywhere outside a city's walls. You may not camp inside a city unless you purchased or snuck into a room in a tavern and are currently inside the tavern where you have that room. The amount you heal per hour of rest is greatly affected by where you sleep. The nicer the accommodation, i.e. expensive, the more you will heal per hour. This game has so much going on. Auto map icon. Left-clicking map icon will bring you your auto map parchment, upon which will be described all the places you have currently visited. Pay close attention to this map. It'll be the only thing to provide you clues when searching for something. You can make notes on the map by left-clicking the map where you wish to place the note, then typing. Hit enter to get the pen or right-click the mouse button. You can erase notes by pressing escape. See, this is a feature I wish games still had now. A lot of games used to do this, where you could click the map and then put your own note and just write stuff in there. And in The Witcher, they have that thing where you can put like, you know, exclamation point or a skull, and that's kind of like their way of trying to approximate that. But you could only have like a few notes. In a lot of games at this time, you could make as many as you wanted. Although I'm not sure about that. I never tried to make that many in any of these.
Left-clicking the compass points on the auto map will scroll so you can see a larger area. Left-clicking the center will center the map on your location. As a note, any locations that are marked automatically by the auto map, i.e. not by you, will be left of the first character in the sentence. Therefore, an in that is marked on your auto map will be to the left of the first character in its name. Oh, okay. So Mage's Guild, they're saying this is to the right, like, you have to imagine there's a point and then it says Mage's Guild. I get it. Right-clicking map icon will bring up the continental map, from which you can travel to other cities, towns, or villages. You can travel to another place from anywhere outside the world of Tamriel. Oh, from anywhere outside. You must exit an interior first to travel to another city. So we can just, like, fast travel is what they're talking about. That's a major... This game is insane. That's the funny thing about reading the instruction manuals for, like, games in the 90s is, like, you go like, whoa, this is so crazy. And then, like, you go into it and you see the reality of what it is. But there was, like, a magic to reading the manuals for these games. And, you know, kids would, like, bring them to school and stuff and, like, study the manual before like, actually playing it. And then, like, you build up in your head what the story is and what the game looks like. So even when you start playing it, that kind of, like, imagination of the game is still in there. You know what I mean? Like, it sort of fills in the blanks in a way that games now don't really do. They don't need to do because they're, like, almost photorealistic a lot of times. But there's, like, a magic to this where, like, you spend all this time, like, learning about the world and then you create your first impression of that world. Okay, load a game, save a game. Hitting the escape key will abort. You may save up to 10 times. Each game will take about 500k plus of disk space. Make sure you have the room on your hard drive. I think I have room. I hope I do. Detail bar. Helpful in speeding up gameplay or slowing machines. Adjust the detail level. An interesting note about playing this game, and a lot of DOSBox is the app that's used to emulate DOS nowadays. DOS being the operating system that, you know, games used to run on back in the day. And the interesting thing about running DOSBox is that you have to emulate it so that it emulates a certain amount of CPU and memory in a fictional virtual machine. And when you do, like, for this game, for example, you have to have a max level of CPU that you can reach because it just can't comprehend modern computing CPU power. They just didn't have, it'll actually cause glitches in the game. And because you have to set a max level, we actually, even in the year 2020, which is 26 years after this game came out, we cannot run this game at the max settings because it's approximating what a machine in 1994 would have had. So we actually run this at like 30% settings, which is really interesting. Character portrait sheet, yeah, we know about that. Mouse controls. As you look at the screen, you'll notice that the mouse cursor can change to one of 10 cursors, either an arrow, sword, or X. Oh yeah, okay, I see that. I don't see the sword. Yeah, I don't see a sword. When the mouse is an arrow and the left mouse is depressed, you'll walk in the direction designated by the arrow cursor. Further towards the edge gets faster. Arrow is a sword. It is used to pick or click icons on the walk around menu. Oh, maybe I don't see the mouse, sword mouse anywhere though. When the arrow is an X, whatever's under the X will be interacted with depending on what mode you're in. Jumping is accomplished by clicking right mouse while left mouse button is depressed. So they mean press them both at the same time. If you're standing still at the time, you'll jump straight up. If you're running, you'll do a running broad jump. The distance you can jump is determined by your strength and the speed at which you are running. Since characters with higher speed can run faster, they'll also be able to jump farther. Is there with the shocked face? Yeah, this game's pretty crazy. Chuck's was saying, what was the age group for this? In 1994, 8-year-old me would have tapped out after reading half this manual. Yeah, that's like, I think it was probably around, it might have been a little older, like maybe teenagers, because obviously games were a lot less accessible at the time. So I think for us, you know, like people with PCs in general in 1994 that could run video games tended to be more like enthusiast, like older enthusiasts. So like running Doom and stuff, like you had to be like somebody who had a lot of money and know-how to like do that, because most younger people would have just had like an NES or something, you know, like a home console. PC games were definitely not as accessible as they are now at the time. So I would say, to answer your question, probably somebody who's like 18 years old, or 18 to like 45. Not necessarily because the game had to be for that, but because the paradigm was such that nobody who was younger was necessarily playing PC games unless their parents owned a PC and knew how to use it and taught them how to use it. I guess that would be around what it is. Placing your X cursor on a monster or door and right-clicking will identify the monster or store. Oh, that's interesting. Therefore, placing the cursor on an equipment store's door and right-clicking will display the equipment store's name and will inscribe that name onto your auto map. Cool. While the cursor is in X, you can manipulate your environment. Placing the X on another person and clicking your left mouse button will allow you to talk to them, pickpocket them, or cast a spell, depending on what mode your cursor is in, normal, steel, cast. Placing the X on a locked door and chest, left-clicking will display your assessment of the lock, or allow you to try and unlock it, depending on what mode you're in, normal or steel. X on a treasure chest while left-clicking will give you a pick list of the treasure available to pick up. I guess this means like if it's open. Consult the previous option. Note, mouse is required for game to operate correctly. This is another note about video games that a lot of you guys, because I certainly didn't, I was never around during this time, when PCs did not require you to have a mouse. In like the early 90s and earlier than that. And a really interesting note is that I believe it was the Apple II. Steve Jobs forced them to include a mouse, and you had to have a mouse to have an Apple when you had an Apple II. Like it was an operating system that was made to be used with a mouse, and everybody was pissed. Because they're like, why do I need that? Keyboards actually used to have, if you can, you know, visualize a keyboard in the modern day, around where the number pad is, there was also, some keyboards still have this, there was also a series of directional buttons and a click button that would emulate what a mouse does. So it would move the cursor around the screen using buttons on the keyboard. And sometimes you'll see the click button still on a lot of keyboard. Mine actually does have one of these, but I don't think it's used for the same thing anymore. But yeah, like even GUI, like graphical user interface based PCs, you know, they still sometimes did not require mice. And only like once they standardized that did it become necessary. The DOS machines, like what this was on, certainly didn't require a mouse because you're just typing commands. Like when you use DOS, it's literally like, I can't show it, but it's you're just typing things in. There's no like mouse usage. So they would have to actually say the mouse is required for this game. Escape setup menu, F1 character sheet, F8 compass on or off, A attack weapon draw sheath toggle. Let's see if I can copy this into a text document. Can I not copy this? Hold on. Oh, let's see if I can, yeah. Take a screenshot. So let's open this app real quick and grab the screenshot. Oops, don't need that. Grab the screenshot, open the folder. Wait, I would have to open the folder where it is, and then I'll open the picture. So now I have this as a picture. And I'll just leave this on my other screen so that I know what I'm doing. Broken saying, I remember playing PC games. Doom was my favorite. Yeah, Doom, I really enjoyed playing Doom. And we did it in the original way where we you know, played it without the mouse. Because Doom is an example of a PC game that did not require a mouse. And it actually didn't even have support, I don't think, for a mouse when it originally came out. Okay, escape is the setup menu. F1 character sheet, F8 compass toggle, A attack weapon draw sheet toggle, C is cast, J is jump, Shift J, jump forward from standstill. Shift J. Okay. This is the way PC games were back in the day too. Like all the buttons would just be things that have the same letter as the thing you're doing. But if you think about where your hand has to be to press all these things, your hand is over the entire keyboard. Games now, it's like your fingers rest on WASD and anything you need to press is like E or Q. It's like right next to where your fingers are. This is not convenient at all. M is auto map or map. Shift M, continental map. P is pick steel. R is rest camp. S, status. U, use. Okay. The cities, days and, oh my god, months in order. Days is Morndus, Tyrdas, Middus, Turdus, Freydus, Lordus, Sundus. Months, morning star, sun's dawn, first seed, rain's hand, second seed, mid-year, sun's height, last seed, hearthfire, frostfall, sun's dusk, and evening star. The calendar of the world you're about to enter is organized into 360 days in a year. Why? The year is displayed in the following manner. The era in which you're adventuring is placed first, after which comes the actual year in the era. Therefore, 3E, 387 means third era, 387th year. Each era lasts for 1,000 years. Ah, that's nice at least. Holidays. Oh my god, this game is insane. Interspersed throughout the year are certain holidays which are celebrated by the people of the known world. It is on these days that you'll be able to find special bargains on many different services. On some holidays, such as the Warriors Festival, all weapons are half price. On others, such as Tails and Talos, you can find special prices at the Mages Guild. The following is a complete list of the holidays celebrated. Smart planning can ensure your arrival at a particular town in time to take advantage of the festivities. New Life, first day of Morningstar. Southwind's Prayer, Heart's Day, first planning. Jester's Day, second planting, mid-year celebration, Merchant's Festival, Sun's Rest, Harvest End, Tails and Talos, Witch's Festival, Emperor's Day. Oh, they're going to have a heck of a time on Emperor's Day. Warriors Festival, North Wind's Prayer. This is crazy. I love it. With over 400 places to see, holy crap, Tamriel is a vast continent indeed. As you explore this world, you'll probably find it necessary to converse with people in various cities, towns, and villages. To do so, you simply left-click a person when the cursor is an X. This will enter you into a conversation. The people of Tamriel are honest folk, who, although they may not know all the information, will not lie to you. Just as a warning, if you have your weapon drawn, people will not pause to speak to you, but instead will mind their own business. You must have your weapon sheathed to speak with someone. You have the following choices. Who are you? They reply with their occupation or livelihood, whatever that may be. Where is? You can ask where a particular place is by clicking it off the pick list that appears. Or you can click the options near the bottom of the pick list and ask that person for the nearest place, whether that be an inn, temple, or equipment store. One note, inns and taverns are the same thing. Okay. Rumors. You'll have the ability to ask general rumors, those that have to do with events such as holidays or economic status of the city you're in, or you can ask about work rumors, basically to let you know what latest opportunities exist around for making a little extra gold. Exits, thank you. Getting quests. When talking to people, you may find yourself in the position of getting a quest. These can range from any number of things, from a simple delivery job to slaying a creature that has terrorized the town. Sometimes people may even inscribe locations of forgotten crypts or other mystical places onto your continental map. The most important thing to remember in these situations is your logbook. In there, you'll find a concise synopsis of what you have agreed to do. You'll also find the location of any place they may have inscribed onto your map. For instance, the person you're talking to may tell the location of Fang Lair, but you would have to search through blow-ups of each province until you located the one with a new dungeon on it. This is not always an easy task. If you look at your logbook, however, there will be noted the province in which Fang Lair can be found. It's a simple matter from that point to locate the dungeon itself. Your logbook will display up to 16 quests. When you receive your 17th, every quest thereafter, logbook will replace. We already know that. Highly recommended that you print out the logbook. I think they really mean print, too. Maybe we'll just print screen or something. The temples. The temples of any city, state, town, or village are the haven of active adventurers. Here you can be healed, curses lifted, and diseases can be cured. Temples also offer blessings for those about to enter the wilderness or dungeons. Keep in mind that prices will vary from city to city and province to province. There are important main services a temple provides. Healing heals injured characters for a small fee, healed of all injuries sustained whether they arrived at their dire state through magical or mundane combat. Curing, for characters who suffer any number of dangerous maladies, will cure any malady, poisoning, disease, and curses, depending on the victim's level and damage. Okay. Blessing, any action performed within the next 24 hours. This can be especially useful to the person that needs just that little extra luck against a stronger or tougher adversary, or just to even the odds. Blessings can make the difference between finishing a quest successfully or not exiting at all. The cost is dependent on how much is donated to the temple in question. As with all places, temples may show partiality to those from its own province. Oh, the Mages Guild. The Mages Guild represents the one area where you can improve your skills in magic. The guild offers spells that can be inscribed into your spell book. We don't really care about that because we're not going to use this. But there's a spell maker. Wow. Buying spells, potion, blah, blah, blah. Taverns. Homes of all weary travelers who wish to sleep a safe night under the roof. At a tavern or inn, you may sleep, get a drink, or just sit and listen to rumors. It's said some of the greatest adventures started in the back of a smoke-filled pub, as tales were woven to the delight of the people. There are 3 things they can assist you with: getting a drink, getting a room, hearing rumors. Okay. Equipment stores. You can buy weapons and armor, sell, or repair. It is essential that you outfit your characters with the best that money can buy. Adventurers have learned through tough trial and costly error that there is a simple maxim to follow in buying equipment. You get what you pay for. Equipment stores are the place where you can provision yourself for adventuring. Note, you can check the condition of any weapon or armor in your inventory by clicking it. You'll get a brief summary of your weapon's capabilities and current condition. Yeah, I don't really care about this stuff. We know this concept already. -3, blah, blah, blah. Metal types. Oh, so they all have inherent better aspects. Shields, yeah. Normal weapons. The Palace. Oh, wait. I skipped it. The world of Arena is composed of city-states, towns, and villages. Each of these areas is ruled by kings, queens, lords, etc. from their respective palaces. The palace is a place you may journey to in order to meet the ruler of a particular region. They may have certain things to offer, such as valuable clues for some lost artifact or a quest by which you can increase your coffers. Palaces also offer a place where the ruler of a particular region can enlist people to help with a particular problem, such as delivering an ultimatum to a neighboring town or village. Such people are usually rewarded well for their time. Sometimes these errands can be quite dangerous, such as slaying a monster that's terrorized the region. In those cases, it's well to remember that the reward will usually match the danger. Finally, palaces can be a good place to hear rumors. Open court is held there, and all that is known in a particular region is common knowledge. If for some reason you find you need some information, someone at the palace may have what you need. The city gates lead out of the city-state, town, or village you're currently in and into the wilderness. You'll be able to explore the surrounding area. Many interesting and dangerous places can be found, including crypts, temples, and dungeons. There are also friendlier places, such as wayside inns and quaint farmsteads. It all depends on what region you're currently exploring. See the wilderness for more details. Alright. Throughout the world of Tamriel are various guilds, organizations that work toward their own ends. You may encounter some of these people in your journeys. Not all are malevolent, but not all are benign. They're people just like you, with their own aims and goals. At times you may find yourself pitted against them. At other times you may find your staunchest allies. It's important to remember that these various guilds usually work for their own benefit. They can greatly aid those who help them and bring great pressure to bear upon those who oppose them. Here's a brief description of some of the guilds that work throughout the known world. Thieves, Mage, Dark Brotherhood, Blades. Actually, we should read this. The Thieves Guild works in and around the cities of Tamriel. They're known to organize and govern any who wish to work in a particular city. Those who pay their monthly tithe and find certain perks when faced the authorities. Those who do not find that the Thieves Guild can be a dangerous adversary. The Mages Guild is the center of magical study for all those of spell-casting potential. They perform many services to those who have the money to pay, including selling potions, selling magical items, helping create magic spells, and selling spells for spellbooks. They're also a powerful force in the world of Tamriel, often searching for lost artifacts or treasures. It's said by some that the Mages Guilds have many secrets, including the location of some legendary places. The Dark Brotherhood are loyal followers of Sithis, god of death. They're sworn to uphold the tenements of chaos. They're vicious foes to those who would follow the roads of law, often patrolling outer paths and byways for unwary travelers. It's said that the Brotherhood does not associate with any other group, contesting that even the necromancers are not true to the word of the Dark God. They instead work toward what they call a pure form of chaos. Few have faced them and escaped with their souls intact. The Blades are a secret society comprised of the best warriors of the Empire. The Blades approach whomever they wish for membership. None know exactly what their ultimate goals are, but they have been seen on both sides of the law, sometimes helping those in need, other times attacking caravans or wealthy merchants. All that is known is that they are deadly in combat, trained by special sword masters to a point where their thought and reaction are one. The Necromancers are a guild that works in the shadows of life, stealing bodies for purposes known only to them. They deal and consort with the undead regularly, and are staunch foes of the Mages Guild. They are accomplished spellcasters, often questing for magical artifacts and other sources of knowledge. It is said that when facing the Necromancers, one need fear what comes after death more than death itself. The Wharf Rats. The Wharf Rats are a loosely organized group of cutthroats, thieves, and ruffians. Although they do not represent the best of what is out there, their sheer number makes up for any deficiency in skill. The Thieves Guild will attack any members of the Wharf Rats it finds, considering them an infringement upon their turf. They prey upon the weak, elderly, or rich travelers, stealing from them anything of value. The Underking. The Underking is a mysterious figure, walking through myth and legend. Some say he's actually a very old and powerful lich. Others that he is an archmage whose very being has been somehow transformed by his use of magic. It is agreed, however, that he is a force to be reckoned with in the world of Tamriel, sending his undead soldiers on errands whose goals only he is privy to. It seems his forces often find themselves opposed to the Necromancers, a fact that reassures many, for if they were to unite, all of Tamriel would suffer. A note on thievery. The world of Tamriel is a vast and wonderful place to explore. There are numerous dungeons, crypts, temples, houses, and other exciting areas in which you can try and make your fame and fortune. One of the things you might find very appealing is the degree to which you have control over your player's actions. This includes magic, combat, fighting in the world of arena, or taking on quests. Still, there should be an explanation on at least one of the many activities you may choose to involve yourself in: thieving. For a thief, nothing is better than getting something for free. You'll have the opportunity to steal items of value, break into houses, loot stores, whatever your heart desires. Still, it's important that the consequences of such actions are outlined so that you enter this way of life with an understanding of what you're in for. To pilfer something, click the icon with the fingers plucking at gold. You'll be prompted to pick a target to pilfer. Left-click whatever you wish while the cursor is an X. If it's a person, an attempt will be made to pick that person's pocket. If you click a door or chest, an attempt will be made to unlock it. Your chances depend on your level and your class. Naturally, thieves and thief subclasses have the best chance. You can right-click the mouse to abort the steal option and return to the normal interaction mode. Note, although thieves and their subclasses are more adept at stealing, any character class has a basic chance to succeed in this area. The chance is a factor of your int, agility, and your level of experience. City guards take a dim view on thieves, especially ones they catch in the act. If they spot you, remember it is you or them. They'll try to kill you on the spot. As we said, they take a very dim view of thieves in their city. Except for the fact that the toughest guards are found in the city-states, there really is no difference if you're caught in a village, town, or city-state. The punishment is the same. There is one consolation. Facing the city guard does not always mean instant death. If you're tough enough and resourceful, you can beat them, then hightail it to a safer area. Just as their tempers are short, so are their memories. Once you leave the area, you should be safe from pursuit. Cities are very unforgiving of those who would break the law. Act carefully and you can make a quick killing in cash. Act stupid and the onlookers will agree that it was a quick killing. You can also break into places without trying to pick the lock. Take your weapon and bash away. If you can damage the door or chest enough, it'll open. You may also break your weapon if the door is too strong. Still, it might be better than having to turn back because you don't happen to have the key. Be careful with chests or you might damage the contents of whatever was inside. Oh my god, is that like a photo of a guy underneath artwork of a mask? It's kind of cool. I feel like anatomically, though, it doesn't necessarily... They made the head too big within the helmet. There are 3 types of guards. Guards are the normal heavy grunts, good at killing, chopping, dismembering, stomping, drinking, etc. Sergeants, a little faster and stronger than normal guards, better at all the things listed above. Captains, faster than sergeants. Captains usually work in the palace or in important areas of the city. Very good at parting you from your life. I love these. The way that they write this stuff is really well done. This is one of the best instruction manuals we've ever gone through. Some commonly asked questions by would-be thieves and other interested parties. What happens if you're fighting guards and happen to get beat and go down fighting? Answer 1, you're dead. Sorry if you were expecting something nicer. That's the only question. The only question and answer. A note on negotiating. The people who populate the world of Arena have their own desires, goals, and needs. When you interact with them, it's important to remember this. Store owners look to make a profit. Mage Guild acolytes try to earn money for their guild. Even innkeepers need to turn a profit in order to keep their inns and taverns open. For this reason, it's possible to barter with them. No price is final, unless of course you're the person you're trying to negotiate with says so. Steps to bartering. All you need to remember is that usually when you buy an item or contract a service, you will have the opportunity to barter for a reasonable price for that item or service. Simply respond to the on-screen prompts to negotiate. The outcome is based on your personality and the store owner or guild member's intelligence. Of course, you can choose not to barter and accept the first price offered. It will save you time, but may cost you more. Traveling. See, this, I will say, in our original playthrough, we had 3 episodes, and I had to quit the game, and for an entire episode, I spent not knowing that we could travel, and it really wasted a lot of time, which is another good reason to read the instruction manual. The world of Tamriel is vast, roughly 3,000 to 4,000 kilometers east to west and 2,000 to 3,000 kilometers north to south. Holy crap. Thankfully, you do not have to walk the entire distance. Just a note of interest, walking between cities at the normal game time pace can take anywhere from 10 to 12 hours of real time. That's why we have incorporated the fast travel option in the continental map. So this game is bigger than Skyrim is what they're trying to say. The continental map. The ability to travel from city to city can be accessed from the continental map by right-clicking the auto map icon. Right. The province you're currently in will have a yellowish highlighted name. You must pick a province to examine before you may travel. To select a province, simply click it on the continental map. Once the province is picked, the screen will zoom in and you'll see a more detailed map. If you're currently in this province, your location here will be marked by a yellow outline of a particular city, town, or village you're at. From this map, you can find out information about a particular place by clicking it. When you do so, we'll be shown such things as the name and type of location you wish to travel to, estimated date of arrival, and other useful info about your choice. The last location you've picked will flash with a red outline. From this prompt screen, you'll have 3 choices: travel, search, or exit. Travel is controlled by the icon that looks like a horse. It'll start you on your journey to the selected location. Search is controlled by the icon that looks like a sextant, whatever that is. It'll allow you to search for a city if you know its name. If you do not, you can choose a list from cities, towns, villages in the province. It'll then find the city, outline it in red, and show the information on that place. Exit will exit. The wilderness. The wilderness is an area surrounding a city, state, town, or village. You can choose to enter the wilderness by going to the city gate and clicking it. Be warned, however, the wilderness is a place of beauty and peril. While imperial city-states and other they're trying to say domains. That's like an archaic way of spelling domain. That's like what you'd see in like a pirate, like Pyrate notebook or whatever, or book. Be warned, however, the wilderness is a place of beauty and peril. While imperial city-states and other domains sit safe behind high walls, vagabonds, ruffians, even monsters roam the wild countryside. Those who choose to explore do so at their own risk. Still, the rewards of finding an abandoned crypt or a forgotten temple can outweigh the inherent dangers. Occasionally, you'll run into friendly farmsteads or roadside inns. These places can be a haven to the weary or sick. You're welcome to use them, just tip the bartender in the morning. To access the continental map while in the wilderness, simply right-click the auto map icon, allow you to travel to any city. The auto map works differently in the wilderness. Instead of showing you only the places you've been, it shows you the entire region. Because of the vast size of the open land, you cannot add or edit notes onto the wilderness map. With experience, you'll learn how to recognize certain patterns in the wilderness that'll indicate dwellings and or dungeons. Also, the automap is paged in as you traverse different regions. If you're near the edge of one region, the automap may not show the next region until you enter it. This is not a mistake in your automap, but a memory limitation of the computer. To hold 12 million well, it's true. To hold 12 million square kilometers of maps would take more memory than most machines have. To ease your travels, you may return to the city you're currently near by clicking it from the continental map. This is a quick travel option only available when you're exploring the wilderness surrounding a city. Remember that the city you're currently in will be outlined in yellow. Oh, currently near, I get it. Remember that the city you're currently near will be outlined in yellow on the continental map. You can also ask people in the wilderness where certain things are, such as the nearest dungeon. If the person you're talking to knows the area well enough, they can guide you to interesting areas. In all other respects, the automap works the same way. You can scroll around using the compass, enter the map, blah, blah, blah. Is they're saying 10 to 12 hours? I know, this is crazy. This is insane. A sextant used by mariners to determine direction using the stars. Hard to describe how it looks. We'll have to take a look at it when we open the map then. That's interesting though. I didn't know that. Magic, some say, is the crux of the world of Arena. It is potent, vital, and deadly to the uninitiated. Spells in Tamriel, unlike other worlds, are extremely unforgiving. They are wielded with no limitations such as memorization, required objects or components, hand gestures, etc. There are no level limitations, nor are there strictures on what type of spells can be cast or used. A mage need only have the magical energy to cast a spell, and he or she can cast it. For this reason, a mage is not only highly respected, but greatly feared as well. There are over 50 standard spells known throughout the Empire. These spells can be researched and pulled at the Mages Guild. For those who wish, the Mages Guild also allows the creation of spells for Mage's personal spellbook. This effectively gives you an unlimited amount of spells to choose from. So we're probably not going to use this spellmaker thing. So we're basically creating combinations of spells if you wanted to do it, and then you can name it. Wow, this is crazy. Descriptions of effects, oh man. Create floor. I'm just going to pick out ones that look interesting. Creates a floor out of the surrounding area, useful for bridging gaps over chasms. Wow, that's cool. Destroy wall, oh my god. Invisibility sounds good to me. Maybe we should be a mage then. The known spellbook. The first circonate. Listed below are the 8 circles of power, named thus for the spells that reside within each. These are spells available to you for purchase of, or perhaps find while adventuring in the land. You're not limited to these spells, however. You may create new spells of any circonate using the spellmaker, but you must have the gold to purchase it, and the level power necessary to cast it. The spell's duration is expressed in rounds. 1 round equals 5 seconds of real time. This should aid you in understanding the extent of the spell's power. Remember that this conversation should be used while creating... remember that this conversion should be used by you when creating spells also. A brief description of the spells follow. The raw cost of each spell is listed below the time or the name. This is the cost in gold to purchase the spell. Dividing this cost by your level will give you your casting cost of the particular spell. Warning, if you don't have more spell points than the calculated casting cost of spell points divided by your current level, you will not be able to cast this spell. Crazy. This is cool. If you're a type of class that works with weapons, there will eventually come a time when you won't be able to talk your way out of trouble, and your only exit will be through a variety of tough adversaries. This is when you'll have to draw a weapon and show your opponent what mistakes she made in facing you. That was a weird choice. I thought it said she. What a mistake he made in facing you. Let's say what a mistake he or she made. We'll make that. Attacking. To draw any weapon you currently have equipped, you must left-click the cross swords. You'll see your weapon rise to the right side of the screen. To sheath your weapon, click the cross swords icon again. Character movement is accomplished exactly the same way as before, by pressing and holding down the left mouse button while the cursor is in an arrow form, pointing in the desired direction. Swinging the weapon is now linked to the right mouse button. If you move the mouse while holding down the right mouse button, the weapon will mimic the mouse movement. Wow, this is like chivalry medieval warfare or something. Diagonal slash left, sharply down to the left. Slash right, horizontal cut, vertical chop, thrust. Missile weapons fire arrows directly to the cursor where it is in the X shape. With a little practice, you'll find swinging your weapon is quite easy. Remember that you must be within a reasonably close distance for most weapons to hit your opponent. You must make the movement quick and decisive. Slow moving of the mouse will not trigger your arm to swing. Also remember that the right mouse button must remain depressed through the entire move. You do not have to release the right mouse button after every swing. Simply keep it depressed and swing again. You can also still walk while swinging by depressing and holding the left mouse button, allowing you to wade through the battle, chopping at the nearest foe. To pick up treasure from a fallen foe, press the X cursor upon the body and left click. You'll be told how much gold you find, if any, and see a pick list of items on the body, also if any. Items selected using the left mouse button will automatically be put in your inventory. Remember, equipped items are in yellow, equipable in tan. Okay, they told us that like 5 different times. The world of Arena can be a deadly place. The following section will aid you in aiding yourself. There are 5 things that can affect you in the world: damage to you during combat, diseases, having a curse inflicted, poison, or paralyzation. To heal up wounds you've sustained during a fight, you can go to a nearby temple. For a fee, they'll heal you. If you're a spellcaster, you can heal yourself. Potion of healing, use it and it'll heal you. Item that has the properties of healing, use it. If you're in the wilderness or a dungeon or a tavern where you have a room, you can camp. Okay, usually takes from 8 to 16 hours to heal injuries. As they're saying, I like how this manual looks. Formatted and info included. Yeah, with like all the sword pictures and everything. It is like, this is very well put together. Like a lot of the writing has a lot of personality to it. Whoever did this instruction manual, good job to them. Diseases. If you're unlucky enough to contract one of the many diseases possible in the world, you must get yourself cured quickly. Diseases, unlike other damaging effects, slowly degrade whatever they normally attack. In the case of a disease such as wound rot, your strength, endurance, and health slowly reduce until one of them reaches 0. At that point, you'll die. There are a few options available to you. The easiest thing to do is to prepare beforehand. If you're a non-spellcaster, go to a mage's guild and buy a few cure disease potions. These can be used later to cure you of any malady. If you're a spellcaster, you should buy or create a spell that'll cure disease. You can buy spells from the known spell book, blah, blah, blah. If you're inflicted with a disease and don't have a cure at hand, immediately make your way to an exit. From there, you can see if, based upon the rate of degeneration, you have enough time to make it to a nearby town. In a temple there, they can cure you. If there's no town within a day or two, or you're too far from the entrance, search the dungeon. You may come across a potion in some monster's lair. Curses. A curse is similar to a disease, except that it affects your intelligence, will, personality, and luck. As with all other degenerative effects, if any of your stats reaches 0, you'll die. So if my personality reaches 0, I'm just like so abrasive to everyone I meet that I die on the spot. I'm getting there, The good thing about curses is that they seldom have a duration long enough to threaten your life. Still, having your intelligence down to 15 isn't helpful, nor is it safe. If you're hit with another curse, it could kill you. Follow the steps you would if inflicted with a disease, and you should be able to ward off a curse or banish it at a temple. Oops. Oh, is there saying I found an online PDF? That's awesome. Oh yeah, if you guys want to check out any more info about the game, then definitely, it's a good read. I recommend it. Especially anybody who likes the Elder Scrolls franchise. Reading those first few pages with the storyline of this game, pretty interesting. Poison. Poison causes a slow degeneration of your health. Obviously, if your health reaches 0, you'll die. Once again, the steps preventing it are relatively simple. Prepare. Buy potions or spells to safeguard yourself. If you find yourself unlucky not having them, try resting. Certain poisons will wear off given time. Others will continue until you're dead. Don't take a chance. Keep your health as high as possible until you can rid yourself of the poison, whether that be through a spell, potion, or temple. Paralyzation is unique in that whatever paralyzes you is probably still around. The only good defense is to have a spell or potion that you can use to cure it. Don't worry, paralyzed characters can move enough to take a potion, just not to fight or run. You can also cast some other type of spell, such as invisibility or sanctuary, which would cause the monster or person to ignore you. Hopefully, the spell will last long enough for the paralyzation to wear off. If you don't have any of these options, you're in some trouble. The monster will continue to attack you. Although further attacks won't add to the paralyzation time, rarely does it have to. Your only hope is that the effect wears off quickly. As stated before, your best defense is to prepare beforehand. Oh, cool. The bestiary. For this, I don't think we want to read it, though. So we're just going to skip through those. General hints and tips. My character dies a lot when first starting out. What am I doing wrong? Nothing. The starting dungeon in which you find yourself is designed to help you in advance in levels before venturing out into the real world. Use it! There are numerous caches of money, weapons, and magical items. If you're careful exploring this area, you can leave the dungeon probably around 3rd level. One last hint, areas which are raised off the floor are safe to rest in, provided there are no monsters currently alive and within range of you. Chuckster's laughing at the, I don't know. This game has some interesting ideas about personality, and so if my luck reaches 0, I die. I guess that kind of makes sense. Like, he's unlucky, he died. He's unlucky to have died. It seems there aren't any noble quests to participate in. When do I get them? Quests are earned based upon your reputation and level. At low levels, kings and queens will seldom look to you as their champion. Be patient and work hard. Once you begin getting into the higher ranks, your reputation will precede you, and you'll find that rulers of different cities will try to enlist your aid. How exactly is leveling computed? Take the number required for your class to reach 2nd level, then multiply that by 1.875. This is roughly what you need for the next level after that. The reason we say roughly is because the actual multiple varies a little bit from subclass to subclass depending on their special. Sometimes I'll have a monster right in my sights while I hide behind a corner, but when I cast my spell at him, the spell impacts the wall. How come? Remember that the spell effect has some space associated with it. Although it probably isn't in your best interest, you need to give the spell some room to fire. Try carefully sliding out a little bit further before casting. It seems like playing a certain character is giving me an advantage. Can the game be won, say, with a thief? Yes. While it's certainly true that certain classes have advantages over others, they are balanced out by needing more experience points at each level. As a result, a thief class character will generally be of higher level than, say, a spell sword. This directly translates to a better chance to hit an opponent, better saving throws, and higher base stats. It's imperative, however, that you adequately prepare for a dungeon by stocking up on potions and magic items. They can make the difference between life and death. We all know there are a number of ways to reach puzzle area in the game that are achievable by any class. In your travels, you'll probably come across others. I want to get into a dungeon right away. Where is one located? If you want to try your hand at a dungeon besides the one you start in, go to... That's cool. For some reason, the load time of the game is very long, sometimes as much as 2 minutes. Can anything be done? Yes, we highly recommend you run Arena with Smart Drive or any other disk caching utility. We found through testing that a disk cache can reduce load times from 2 minutes to 15 seconds. For instructions on using Smart Drive... Oh, so Smart Drive, or rather disk caching, like this is based on a download of the game, so we don't need to worry about it. This is all like disk drive stuff. Keep in mind that Arena needs 600K of RAM to run. Smart Drive automatically tries to load itself into high DOS memory. This is correct. The problem arises when you're running many TSR terminate stray resident programs in high DOS memory. This is all very interesting. Norton Speed Disk. Index. Wow. That's when you know you have a big instruction manual. You need an index, a glossary. That's it, ladies and gents. 88 pages. Can I get some hype for that? The Elder Scrolls Arena instruction manual. Oh, man. Oh, geez. Now we start it. I don't know how far we're going to get at the beginning, but let's do it. For centuries, different factions battled in petty wars and border conflicts, until in 2E896, Tiber Septim crushed all those who opposed him and took control, proclaiming himself as emperor. Still, the bitter years of war had its effect on the populace. The name Tamriel, Elvish for Dawn's beauty. Ah! Different sides of the same coin tossed every day. The people known world became calling the land of their sorrow the Arena. Now 492 years after Tiber Septim took control and kept the peace, the land of Arena has a new threat. The Emperor Uriel Septim VII celebrates his 43rd birthday, but jealous hearts desire the throne. It is said that hope flies on death's wings.
Prepare then, for as the Elder Scrolls foretold, it will be here that you do something I couldn't read.
Oh my god. That was too fast. I couldn't read it. I'll move the old head over a little bit. For splitting the difference for Dark Souls. We use this layout for Dark Souls also, but I think that'll be fine. Oh man, Chuck's just saying, and next time on Voice of Nick we play. Well, that's the way we did it on Metal Gear Solid. It's a prequel episode, then episode, I guess. Start new game, here we go. That was a cool theme song. Is there saying nice music? Chuck's just saying the music is great. I'm excited. This game's cool. I like the artwork too. Alright, let's generate our character.
10 questions shall be asked that will determine the path to your destiny. The scrolls bear a roll of the parchment up or down. Use ABC to answer the questions.
This game's really loud, but I can't turn it down until we get into the game.
1 month after Tales and Tallows, you look at the hoard of treats you have collected and find lots of brandied plums, a treat you particularly dislike. You know your younger sister liked them. Do you give her all your brandied plums?
How do I go down? Oh, there we go.
Trade the brandied plums for something she does not really like but you do. Pretend that they are excellent brandied plums and see if she will give up something really good in exchange.
A.
You're hunting in the King's Hunt, a contest which the best hunter will win riches enough to live comfortably for the rest of his or her life. You track a white stag many of you had shot at earlier. You're alone as you examine the stag and recognize the arrow as one fired from your friend's bow. As you retrieve the arrow for closer examination, you hear your friends arrive.
Yes, definitely is loud.
Claim to fire the arrow, show the others the arrow, and proclaim your friend. Suggest dividing the prize, reasoning that although your friend's arrow brought down the heart, all of you were instrumental in the tracking.
I'm gonna do number 3.
Your father and you are returning from the town market when you see a small boy running from a store. In his hands, he clutches a loaf of bread. Behind him races the baker with a cleaver in his hands. You know that the boy must be hungry, but the town is suffering from a drought, which has made food valuable. Side with justice, help the poor waif by running into the baker's way, stand out of the way and see what your father decides.
I'm gonna help the boy.
While in town, the baker gives you a sweet roll. Delighted, you take it into an alley to enjoy, only to be intercepted by a gang of 3 other kids your age. The leader demands the sweet roll, or else he and his friends will beat you and take it. Do you drop the sweet roll and step on it, then get ready for the fight? Give him the sweet roll now without argument, knowing that later this afternoon you'll have all your friends with you and you can come take whatever he owes you.
Act like you're going to give him the street roll, but at the last minute throw it in the air, hoping that they'll pay attention to it long enough for you to get a shot on the leader. Oh. I think this one where we come back with our friends and beat them up. You have a great aunt and a great uncle living in 2 different nearby villages, both of whom have asked your father to allow you to live with them for a few weeks. Your father knows where he plans to send you, but he is curious about your opinion. Given the choice, would you rather live with your great aunt, a wise old woman of considerable wealth? Living in luxury for a few weeks could not only be enlightening, it could also be very interesting. Live with your great uncle. Hold on, I think I actually can choose the sound on this. Okay, I never do this, where I turn my actual computer volume down, but it's too damn loud. Alright, yeah, that's better. Live with your great uncle, a sick old man who has always been something of a stranger to you. A few weeks with him may be arduous, but he is more in need of your help than your great aunt. Think of a way to divide time between your great aunt and great uncle. Perhaps you will not be able to spend as much time with either as you would like, but neither would be left out. I don't know. I think we're just gonna go with A. Your parents are having a party for several relatives. While helping around the house, you see your cousin slip into a darkened room. Curious, you follow and discover him slipping a silver candlestick into his jacket. He's an honorable boy, but you know his family has suffered some recent financial hardship. He's not seen you yet. You clear your throat and tell him to put the candlestick back, reassuring him that your parents can help him if his family is in trouble, but he should not resort to stealing. Close the door behind you and say nothing. Your family can live without the candlestick, but your cousin's family obviously cannot. Treat him like any other burglar. Lock him in the room and call your father. If he chooses to be merciful because your cousin's poverty, that is his decision. It is your father's candlestick after all. I'm gonna say A. We don't want to set a precedent where our cousin's stealing from us. An old man stops you on the way to the market, claiming to have been robbed. He is lying on the trail and seems gravely injured. He asks you to run into town and get the constable. Do you give him your word that you'll go directly to town and bring the constable back? As you make your way back, you notice a suspicious man creeping along another trail. He doesn't seem to notice you yet. You could A, follow the man, reasoning that if this man is the robber, you could lead the constable directly to him and safeguard the other travelers, although it would mean breaking your word. B, take note of him but continue on, reasoning that the man on the trail is hurt too badly to stop, regardless of any other consideration. C, take note of him but continue on, reasoning that your word is your bond, and that takes precedence over anything else. I'm gonna say B. The guy is hurt. Thank you guys for the hype, by the way. Chuckster, is there space dust? We're in it now. While throwing a ball to your friend breaks a window on his house. His father rushes out and demands to know who broke the window. You know that your friend's father is a strict disciplinarian and will punish your friend severely if he takes the blame. You, on the other hand, not being his son, could get away virtually unscathed. Do you A, raise a hand to take the blame before your friend can answer? B, remain silent? C, point to your friend, knowing that anything else would probably delay the inevitable and make things just that much more worse for him? We'll raise our hand. There's a lot of heated discussion at the local tavern over a group of people called the telepaths. They have been hired by a certain city-state kings. Rumor has it that these telepaths read a person's mind and can tell their lord whether a follower is telling the truth or not. You believe A, that this is a terrible practice, a person's thoughts are his own, and no one, not even a king, has the right to make such an invasion into another human's mind. B, loyal followers to the king have nothing to fear from a telepath. It is important to have a method of finding assassins and spies before it's too late. C, in these times it is a necessary evil. Although you do not necessarily like the idea, a telepath could have certain advantages during a time of war or in finding someone innocent of a crime. No, I don't think you should be able to do that. I'm gonna move our head over a tiny bit too. Like that. You and your best friend buys your first daggers together, a matched pair. You loan him the amount since he doesn't have enough gold, and he agrees to pay you back later. After leaving the shop, you and he sit down to marvel at your new weapons. To your dismay, you notice there is a small notch on the blade of the dagger you selected. Your friend asks you to please watch his weapon for him while he runs an errand. Do you? Wait for your friend's return, then point out the flaw in your dagger and return the weapons to the shop to demand a refund. B. Switch the daggers, rationalizing that since you paid for them, you should get the first choice, and that if your friend ever notices the notch, you could always take him back to the weapon shop and get a refund. C. Keep his dagger safe till his return, then switch the daggers with your best friend's knowledge, justifying it with the fact that you paid for them, then offer to accompany. I say we just go back and do that. Oh, they're telling us to be a spell sword. But I don't want to be a spell sword, I want to be a warrior. That was interesting to inform my personal character, but now we're just going to choose our person. I want to be a warrior. This is a lot of classes. Oh, okay, I can use this. Oh man, this is very sensitive. I have to like really tap the key, and even then I can't go one by one. Oh, knight? Is that the one we want? We might actually have to look back at the instruction manual real quick, just to make sure of what class we were trying to be. Here we go. Warriors, basic stock, able to employ their skill at arms in almost any situation. They may use any weapon, armor, or shield, with the exception of knights and rangers. Warriors are the only other class able to wear plate armor. This fact is important, for only plate armor is strong enough to be enchanted. Therefore, only warriors, knights, and rangers may wear enchanted armor. Warriors are the second fastest to rise in experience, thieves being the fastest. At high levels, this, along with the use of magical equipment, puts them in equal standing with mages in their ilk. Now, knights are the fighters of the noble class. They are well schooled in the ways of chivalry and conduct themselves with honor and dignity. Knights may use any weapon, wear any armor except for leather, and use any shields. In addition, because of a knight's innate strength of character, he or she is immune to paralyzation, whether they be by carried spells or poison. Wow. They also have the ability to repair damaged weapons or armor. This ability is done automatically to any weapons or armor in their inventory. Knights and the other warrior subclasses do not rise in experience as quickly as a warrior. That's kind of cool though. I like the idea of not being paralyzed. But I also like gaining experience faster. I don't know, I think I'm gonna choose a knight. Let's do it. What will be thy name, knight? Gerund. Choose thy gender. From where dost thou hail, Gerund the knight? Oh crap, which one was the one we wanted? It was, it was like red something, wasn't it? Wasn't it Redguard? I thought it was, maybe that's Imperial Province. It's not on there though. Let's check the glossary. Red Guards, 19. It was called Red Guards. But Red Guards are the thing that is from Hammerfell. Yeah. We want Red Guard. We'll just leave the manual open. Alright, now, Hammerfell was definitely on this map. There we go. Thou hast chosen Hammerfell, land of the Red Gods. Would thou accept this as thy home? Then thou would be known as the knight Gerund, who would call Hammerfell, land of the Red Gods, his home. Know ye this also, thy race is a people without a past, for in the Tiber War thou wast stalwart gods of Hammerfell. As time moved on, thy people held on to the ground for which they had shed tears of blood, and now the land, and the strength and the endurance of the rock itself, is thine own to command. Thy body and mind must be strong and willful, if thou art to succeed as a knight. Go ye now in peace, yet thy fate be written in the Elder Scrolls. Distribute thy points as needed, keeping in mind the recommendations for thy chosen class. Oh, so I have 19 points I can spend. And I can change my guy, too. Oh no, I can't change my guy yet. Strength. Okay, so what we wanted, endurance. See, look, we have health +2 now. What does it take to get to +3? A lot, so we're not going to do that. Let's just get to the minimum for health +2. Number 2, we wanted strength. Third most important for us was agility. Chance to hit +1, that's good. And we wanted luck to be pretty high. So our intelligence is low, and our, whatever that is, vitality maybe? VIL? Let's take a look. Is there saying, I see why the manual printout is necessary. Yeah. Oh, will, yeah. I mean, it, you know, when you had this game, it was originally like an actual instruction manual, which is certainly useful. I guess, yeah, let's up our luck a little bit. So we have very bad magic defense. Oh, it's interesting though that I can't change like the condition of my birth. So like, you can't go any lower than what you're given. You can't just like take points out. Yeah, we're just gonna go as high on endurance as we can here. So we're level 1, 0 experience, 180 gold, that's nice. 129 fatigue, 34 health. Save stats. Thou wilt now choose thy appearance. Thy mien canst be affected by clicking thy face. When thou art finished, select done to enter the world of Tamriel, home of the arena. Oh, we can change all sorts of... Cool. Alright, I want to be... We got a lot of good ones. This guy's got like his head is got a huge forehead. I like this guy. Go! Alright, ladies and gents. Oh.
Listen to me. There are no others left to carry on this fight. You have been left in this cell to die. Hagarthar, Imperial Battle, Mage of Tamriel, has taken on the guise of the true Emperor. He does not see you as a threat, being only a minor part of the Imperial Court. In that act of arrogance, he has made his first mistake. Look to the north wall of the cell. You will find a ruby key which will unlock the door. Take it and make your escape. The passages here were once used by Tharn to hide treasures he had stolen from the Emperor's cauldron. If you wish, you can gather enough to support yourself away from the Imperial seat. Be careful. There are many creatures which inhabit the sewers now, vile rats and goblins. It is too late for me, for I am already dead. Only my powers as a sorceress keep me between this life and the next. That power, however, is waning. Do not succumb to greed, or you may find these tunnels to be your final resting place as well. I can still work my magic to a certain extent. If you travel west from this cell, then south, you will find a shift gate. It will transport you far enough from the center of the Empire that you should be safe. If you survive these sewers, you will see me again. Remember, Tharn has taken on the guise of the Emperor. No one will gainsay his word for yours. I will come to you again in your dreams, so it is imperative that you rest from time to time. In that way, I will be able to communicate with you and lend my aid. You are entering a dangerous arena, my friend, one in which the players are beings beyond your mortal comprehension. I do not envy your role. There is, however, a power within you as yet untapped. Look for me when you have gained experience in the world. You are my last and best hope.
So they actually voiced that character, like that part that we did in the instruction manual, she voiced some of those parts. Oh, cool. Okay, so now we're in 3D. And so, number one, we can turn the sound down. It was weird how she was so quiet. Oh my god, this is insanely... I can't even, like... I'm, like, literally tapping this the lightest tap possible. I can't even do this any less than this. Okay, maybe that's good. Let's also save our character creation. Kindly waiteth. Okay, so we turned it down, and now we can turn our system volume back up before I forget. Okay, so here's Garund. It's our guy. Oh, so we start with a broadsword. Oh god, that's a big-ass sword. How did he get that into the prison cell? I mean, I get that they didn't take away his stuff, but how did he hide this? Broadsword, damage 1 to 12, weight 6 kilos, condition new. I wonder how long it takes to break the sword. Send some hearts, ladies and gents. We're in it now. Oh yeah, now I got my sword equipped and everything. You awaken to the drip of water from somewhere above. The cell walls are covered in slime, as are the chains which hang from above. Your eye, however, immediately goes to a strange ruby from the corner of your cell. Oh, there we go. Put away the sword. You have found ruby key. Oh, and it's on the top of the screen. Okay. So it's kind of like Doom, where they show you what keys you have on the screen. Chucks are getting the hearts. Space us with the hearts. Thank you, guys. The game has begun. You open a door with a ruby key. I'm scared. I want to save it again. It's only been like 3 seconds. Thank you, Reserve, for the hearts. The corridors here seem twisted and confusing, but Ria's instructions were to go west then south to find the shift gate. Let's just keep our sword out. Oh god. Oh my god, I smacked the hell out of him. We get some hearts for that. It seems safe to rest in these niches. Oh crap. It said something about it being... Oh, these. Okay, I get it. Oh, crap. Hello. Holy jeez. We are destroying these guys. The goblin has nothing usable. So it said you see a goblin, which means I guess that there's one nearby, but we can't necessarily see him like on our screen. Red eyes seem to glitter at you from the darkness. These guys are getting turned into like pudding. Look at this guy. It's like I'm chopping him up into a stew. Holy crap. Oh, there's definitely a goblin somewhere. Oh, there he goes. Can I hit him from the side of the wall? Yes. Oh my god, this game is great. The action is actually really cool. I love this way that you swing your sword. Oh, red eyes glittering from the darkness is when you see a rat, I guess. Oh man. Chucks with the hearts, Azure. Thank you guys. Oh my god, a lot of rats now. So is green my health here? Because I might be dying then. Hold on, let's take a look at our character sheet. Health +2. Oh, we have 5 out of 36 health. Oh no. I wasn't paying attention to my health. I thought the red was my health. Well, we might be in trouble then, ladies and gents. Can I rest here? You can't escape. Enemies are nearby. I don't see him, though. Where is this rat? Oh! You've gained a level of experience. Great. I didn't even do anything. Endurance, endurance, endurance. Oh, great. I have +3 health now. And we'll get 1 strength. Yeah, I can already tell we're going to need a lot of health in this game. If we're going to make it. Ah, crap. But it didn't actually heal me. 5 out of 50, yeah. Okay, so we need to rest. Camp for a while or until fully healed. How many hours? 2?
I see you have strengthened your arm and your mind. It is time we began this journey. This is the Staff of Chaos, the one item that can open the door between this world and the dimension to which the Emperor has been banished. Tharn used this item to destroy my corporeal form when I tried to warn the Council. He knew that the Staff of Chaos was nigh indestructible, having been made from the essence of the land itself. But in that he found the key. As the land is split, so did he shatter the staff into 8 perfectly formed pieces. These he scattered across the realm. I have been able to divine the location of the first piece, a place called Fang Lair. It is said that Fang Lair was originally built by the dwarves of Kragan. Legend has it that a great worm drove the dwarves from their home in the Dragon's Teeth and took the lair for itself. I only wish I knew the exact location. Perhaps there are sages or scholars who would know of this place. Somewhere in its dank depths lies the first piece of the Staff of Chaos. I wish you well. I do not think Thar knows of your escape, but I can do little else in this form. I have tried to obscure your identity with a spell, but I do not know how well it will hide you. Take care, for Thar may be searching. Go forth with the blessings of the true Emperor, and myself.
You wake up. Oh, geez, I didn't heal that much. You were healthy, but I don't really consider that healthy because we're like about to die. Is there saying her voice is so ethereal and then Nick is using the evil tax collector voice? I don't know, I liked mine better. I feel like she should have a British accent, but she doesn't. But yeah. I'm a little biased about which voice I would like better. Alright, let's so we got a clue about where to go. Your logbook is empty though, so that did not tell us actually what to do. It told us where to. I wrote it down in my logbook in here, but I didn't actually write it, or it didn't write it in the quest log. Okay, and then when we're on one of these like platforms, we can just heal as much as we need to. The only thing is that it seems to be significant what day it is. Like the day in the world is like actually significant, so you might be wasting valuable sort of time by doing that. So she said to go west and then south from the entrance. Oh geez. So we came in from here, so we would first want to go out that way. It seems safe to rest in these niches. You think the rats or other creatures may not smell you with the draft that runs so close to the floor. I love this already. This is really cool. Although it's extremely unforgiving in the combat. Number one, I think the volume was only loud during the intro part, so I'm going to turn everything back to 100%. Number two, let's see what it looks like when we turn it to full detail. Oh yeah, look at that. It's so much slower now. But it doesn't necessarily look better, is the interesting thing. If we turn it all the way down, it sort of looks exactly the same, but it runs way better. So we'll see the middle, if that... This seems to still be chugging a little bit. I think around like 30% is going to be the best. No, this is actually faster than anything, so let's leave it at this. So is this the cell that we came from? Yeah, this is the opening of the game. I hear a goblin. Oh, there he is. This game's great. Oh my god. It's so sensitive. What if I turn the detail all the way up? Does that change the speed of my mouse? Yeah, I do want to turn it down a little bit. And by the way, I think turning the detail up did fix that. I love how I can go in the water. Ah, jeez. He has a staff. So I assume I can sell these items. God, I can imagine already that the reason I was dying so much the first time we played this was like, I just didn't want to read the manual. You know what I mean? Like, it was a time when I would certainly not have felt confident in like reading the entire manual out loud on stream. But I'm so glad we did it. And thank you guys for sticking around for that, because that was really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. So what is a mark? Yeah, that was like really entertaining, the manual stuff. I enjoyed that. Okay, mark. 7 charges left. But do we know what that is? I'm not gonna equip it if I don't know what it is. Another mark. A bracelet and a kite shield. Cool. Let's equip that. It's like we have our Dark Souls character. He's got a kite shield, he's got a sword. Damn, look at him! Kite shield, -3 to AR, weight 7 kilos, condition new. Sword is still new. Longbow is interesting. I can't really use a longbow. I don't think I can, at least. Bracelet, -1 to AR. Yeah, put it on. Oh yeah, look at that. We have, so plus, don't forget that plus is not a good thing. We actually want to do we want to have lower numbers. That makes us have better armor. Is there something that was pretty cool? Yeah, I liked that a lot. I really enjoyed that. Let's try the bow really quick. Oh my god. It looks like I'm like shooting a spear. Can I shoot it in directions? Yeah, look at that. I can shoot it wherever I want. Not vertically, but at least horizontally. That's cool. Oh, whoa. No, don't drop. We already have 1,400 experience. I don't know if that's good or bad, but seems good to me. So the interesting thing is that I can't attack while I'm in the water. So if I get, flanked or ganked or jumped or any other verbed in the water, I'm screwed. But yeah, if you guys think about, you remember Ultima 1, black and white, vector art graphics, turn-based, totally different, but you can see how this came from that. Ultima 1 is a very kind of seminal RPG, computer RPG, where like most other computer RPGs kind of like spawned from that. And you can certainly see how this was influenced by Ultima 1. Now, is this the cell we came from? Yes. So we found the spot again. Hey, give me that. Steel longsword. Is that better than our current? We're getting a crazy amount of items here. See, we read the instruction manual and it said, try exploring the dungeon. And we are. Steel longsword, baby. It's not as long as the broadsword, but it's not all about length. It's about the ability to chop off the heads of goblins. Call me Orcrist, the goblin cleaver. This, once again, yeah. So I'm almost like checking where we are in order to have like a concept of the geography of this level. Because I could see how it'd be really easy to just get completely lost and then die because you don't know where you are. What is this? Is it an item? Or is this just like window dressing? I think it's just window dressing. Watch it blow up if I hit it. It said I see a goblin, but I don't actually see any. Let's make a second save here. All right, ladies and gents, we're officially in it. Now watch this, ready? Drop to DOS, and then... Oh, they actually... So usually it would drop you back into the DOS box menu, but this must be programmed in its own way. Guys, that's going to do it for Elder Scrolls 1. We read the entire instruction manual. We got a huge idea of the world, the story, the things you can do in this game. I am so excited to keep going. We got a taste of the combat. We got some of the cutscene stuff. We got the super loud choose your own adventure part at the beginning. What an episode. What a game. I am so excited, and I'm very glad we came back to this. The little bit of perseverance here, you know? 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whenever that was that we tried Elder Scrolls 1 Arena, you could probably see it on the YouTube channel if you check the date. But whenever we tried that the first time, I just couldn't figure it out. And we really took the time to properly understand it this time. I feel a lot more confident. Now, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining. We're really, we're exploring new ground here. Now, if you don't know the channel you're watching, it's called The Voice of Nick. On here, I stream 3 times a day, 7 days a week. We play story-based games, and they're what we call ultra-blind playthroughs, which means I don't talk over story or cutscene moments, but I do request no one utilize their pre-existing knowledge or opinions of the game or franchise. If you want to see more of what happens on here, then type !games in the chat. You'll get a full list of all 6 now concurrent gameplay series going, including Elder Scrolls 1. And if you like what you saw today, don't forget to hit that follow button. Thank you so much to everybody who watched and participated in today's show. Thank you to all of our subscribers. Thank you to everybody who supports the streams. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.